Hey guys and gals, let's unbox and take a look at the Pretty Pink Flower Bouquet by LEGO Botanicals. This is set number 10342, contains 749 pieces, retails for $59.99, and this set was provided by the LEGO Group as a gift appreciation for being in the Ambassador Network. It means I have survived without breaking any rules. So, this is essentially what it is, and just by first impressions, this box is not serving any justice. This looks kind of dark and gloomy, although it looks like we have a nice bouquet of flowers. Now, if you have the other ones, I'm sure this is going to work really well. And on the top of the box, we even have a place to put a name on there too, so you can give this away as a gift. And here's the back, and I'll have to rustle up a vase for this. I think I may have one somewhere. And here's the related information. This thing is 12.5 inches or 32 centimeters tall. So it looks like we got to make various types of flowers and you shove them in the vase. That sounds pretty typical for one of these. Well, let's unbox this and see what we have inside here. I always like looking at these. Kind of exciting to see what kind of pieces. Well, we obviously know now there are poly bags packed in there. And we got some interesting colors. And a booklet. Okay, nothing else hiding in there. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. That looks a lot better on here. In fact, it doesn't look like we get a whole lot. Let's see here. We'll take a closer look at the building guide. I just want to take a look here and see. And it does not look like this comes with the Brick Separator. I don't see it in there, do you? I don't. So it looks like you are going to have to provide a Brick Separator yourself. Now this is obviously just a gift, so I don't have to really do a formal review on this one. Alright, what are these? 32 stud long cross axles. Looks like we got ourselves one sand green and a bunch of earth green. These are good for making spruce trees. If you find these, you can make some tall spruce trees, you know, because I have a tutorial on how to do that. You need a bunch of those, so that would be good for making forest. And let's see here. Okay, I found the most important one. So, there's 6 bags in here that are numbered. That's pretty cool. But look at all the small pieces. I really don't see any larger stuff, except for those leaves. But those would be nice if I can get those in green. And why, LEGO, do these have to be in sand green? It kind of looks kind of like they're dead, like they need to be watered. Well, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. There we go. So, there are 6 bags, and what I'm thinking of doing, and I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, depends on how far we go with the build. I'd like to break this thing down into possibly 2 installments, but I'm thinking of try to do it all in one sitting. And I'm just dividing everything up right now. We're going to do bags 1, 2, and 3. We're going to focus on that. And I'm going to do my typical, we're going to be taking breaks and stuff. And I'll keep this over here. But what we're going to do first, before we really get into it, let's take a look at the manual. We're going to do a good close-up on this. And sorry about the angle here. I have no other way to do these things, so we'll put those up there. At least it keeps the glare off. I didn't even set up the ring light today, so I'll have to do that. Build it your way, so obviously you can do with a digital device, a smart device, or use the paper manual, which the paper manual shows up better on video. And yeah, so elegant by nature. And of course you can read that on your own leisure, or you can get a copy of the building guide. And we have the cornflower and eucalyptus baby blue. That doesn't look like any baby blue I've seen before. It looks more like sand green. Alright, and let's see here. And it just starts right on in. And my whole goal of this today, while I'm getting the ring light set up here for you, is usually these are kind of They're just kind of, most of them are duplicates. Sometimes you're building 3 or 4 of one type of flower. So, that kind of thing. Now, when you get your own copy of this set, first thing we got to do is open this one up first. But let's begin. Let's build it. Caught myself there. Before you get your copy, it's going to ask you to get 2 of these. When you look at this by first impressions, it does give you 1 of these in here. That's correct. So we need 2 of these and 1 of these. That's the only one they give you. So I'm going to put these back in this bag for safekeeping so I don't lose them. And yeah, and I think we're starting with the cornflower first. Let's make sure that we are. And it's always good to prepare yourself for these builds because they could take forever to do. Yeah, we are building the cornflower. Looks like we're just building 1 stalk of that. Alright, so it doesn't really say what color we need in here. We'll keep those off to the side. And let me find bag 1. And yeah, it's a lot of small parts that we're going to have to be dealing with today in this build. But, you know, that's usually typical on these. And I notice I get a lot of views. A lot of people watch these. Sometimes, you know, when these sets are when you're building them yourself, sometimes it doesn't really make sense. Sometimes it doesn't for me too. I'm not by all means an expert on this. And I notice there's a hook in here to hang this in here. Cool. Now I can just press a button and the ring light comes on. All right, cool. At least we know that. And so the intent today is to just, you know, work on it. And today is, I don't know, do I have a smart device here? June 10th, 2025. Hey, it's all raw uncut, so I don't script these. These are, oh, I've never seen these before, and that'd be kind of cool for making flowers or cherry blossoms or your own type of botanicals. I mean, I'm always game for seeing new parts. Boy, that's a lot of little pieces in there. Lots of small stuff. Alright, so let's get going here. And now we're going to get started. So if you're looking for brown plain minifigure heads, here you go. Right there. And these type of sets are always a treat. I used to just frown upon these, but not anymore. Because now these are, are relaxing to do. Now what I'm going to do here, we're going to use the macro lens so you can see better than just me zoomed in here. And then now we're going to have to do those. That doesn't look too fun. We've got to make 3 of them. And so I've contacted one of the representatives from the Ambassador Network who sends out review offers. I gave him my SKU numbers for my orders, and he said one of them has been paid and it's coming in. Now I looked and it didn't show anything, so that's no news is good news, I guess. And the other one they're still working on now. By this time now, they're a month late. You know, what do? I've been trying to get my own personal stuff done, so I haven't really started the camper like I was going to, but I got a building guide done. I did do the tiny house, so I've already sold a few copies of that already, of the tiny house. Now, those type of builds I will not give away cheap. That's a $4.95 deal. Bad enough that I had to do the video tutorial on it. Now the building guide was pretty brutal, so I just kind of, but at least you are getting something that you can build, So I've been selling a bunch of guides lately, and the whole intent is to keep them as cheap as possible so you can focus on buying the parts. I had one person ask, can I provide parts with these as a package deal? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. There's no way I could do that and keep it on the cheap. That kind of thing here. So, you know what I'm going to do? Start separating parts here. Yeah. A couple of other things have been going on. Mostly, there's been a bunch of riots a couple cities over, so I've been kind of hunkered down. Like, please don't come out here. Let me be, you know, let me just build my Lego stuff, and then that's it. You know, so it's like, yeah. And so, sometimes after a while, we got to have some fun stuff to do instead of just keeping everything kind of depressing. So, I have been really been hitting hard on sets in terms of part outs. I'm starting to go through a lot of the smaller pieces. When I get done with these sets, I always have like a few pieces left over, so I have to part those back into the collection. And then we got a little bit of an excerpt here. That should come in very well. So, the minifigure crowns. So we got that part done so far. But I've noticed more people who buy these sets are in my age range, which is cool. So I've noticed a lot more adults are getting into this hobby, which is cool. It's just, it's not for kids anymore. This is not Lego I grew up with by any means whatsoever. By any means. But I think you get this, you're really going to enjoy it. It's a nice, fun build. Now, there's 6 bags. I'm assuming probably at least 6 people can build this. I'm hoping. And the reason being, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the stick in that. Don't forget that I did. I forgot it. The whole go about these, can you build this with a partner? And I think this one's going to be a partner build. You can build this with your partner or significant other, and you can all just gawk at the parts that fall off the build. And I notice I'm building right here mostly here. When I go up like this, it's out of the range here. There we go. We're just going to do it like that. I'll just use the manual ring. And now we got to do that whole thing there. Isn't that cool? And we're using the dark green. The earth green, that's the formal color here. And yeah, I do this by building guides too. I've been hitting hard on the guides. So I know some people have been asking me, do I have a guide? I'm like, just be very patient. You know, right now I am flooded. And at least it's not with reviews. Now, if I had reviews, it would be the reviews come first. Well, seeing that the reviews are late, I can't do them. So that's that. Okay, so it goes right there. And then this goes right in here. Okay, so it looks like a magic wand. And we have to build another one, but this one's a little different. Okay, so that takes care of that. And it's nice that these come in dark green. These would make good pieces for plants. I don't know what kind of plant, but you know, and oh, these come in earth green. All right, that's kind of cool. At least we got those now. See, instead of causing a bunch of ruckus out, you know, in society, why don't we all just sit down and build some Lego stuff? Okay, sorry about that. And so now I'm going to say, okay, I officially start with the second cornflower. But, yeah, I've been hearing the news, and it's just been kind of getting brutal. What am I doing? Building in my Lego room or my workshop. Alright, so that wait, that doesn't go in there like that. I made a mistake. I was like, that doesn't stay in there very well. And one thing I've been overflowing on is a bunch of these little leaf pieces. I got a bunch of these now that I've been hoarding up. And let me back this camera out just a bit there. And let's see here. And we all had talked about, LEGO, about the highlights in some of these books. And I kind of wish LEGO would do this in all their building guides. My building guides will always have parts highlighted like this, with the blue around it. This blue is easy to see versus the red that LEGO's been using. So this is a nice breeze here for a change. We have all that green LEGO and we're sneaking black in there. That's not cool. All that green color and but my whole goal is to start getting these done here quickly. And now if I were you and you're building this set, this is the first set you're getting, and this might be a little overwhelming for some. Here's what I would do, is sort by color or part type. You could do both, so you just have to get a bunch of sorting trays and just do it very slowly. Except don't do what I'm doing and have the parts fly out, but that's what it looks like right there. Okay. And, and by all means, I'm not a professional at this. I do this for fun. This is just fun. This is not a professional type of gig. I've seen other people, this is what they do professionally. Professional product reviewers, there's actually such a thing as that. And for me, this is just meant for, okay, this goes on the tall one here. I don't think it matters. Put that there, so it's a little bud. But for me personally, it's your LEGO set. You build it any way you wish. I always emphasize that. Build it your way. Build it the way you feel comfortable. That's how we say. Yeah, so I've been thinking about vacations and stuff, and there was this place we went to when I was probably a teen or a preteen. I can't remember. We went to this one place up in Northern California. It was somewhere around Jedediah Smith, that area around there. And there was this river we would swim in, like a creek. And it had this tree that was kind of fallen. And I remember people were using it as a diving board. And my dad told us we weren't going to go on that. And I said, nah, I ain't going to do that too, because I didn't know if there was any rocks or anything below it. And I wasn't going to get on that. And I remember these kids were just jumping off of it, diving head first. Now, I would never do that. Not knowing how deep, especially if you can't see the bottom. And I remember that it was a place. It was a creek, and you could swim to the other side. It wasn't like a raging river, and it was below a bridge. So there was a bridge and stuff in there, and I can't remember. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I did these backwards. I was supposed to. Okay. I did them backwards here. Whoopsie. Well, that's fine. I skipped a step, but that's okay. I'm supposed to do those first. But I remember we went to this place, and it was below a bridge, and I'm trying to find out where it's at. I mentioned it to my girlfriend. She says, oh, I'm not swimming in no creek. I said, no, we're not going to swim. I just wanted to know where it's at, because I know she wouldn't know. And I asked my mom, and she couldn't really remember, but she knew kind of where it was at. So I thought, well, let me see if I can find it. And I had no luck, and I thought, man, I was just thinking of that place, and I thought that'd be a good little mock to do there. There we go. I notice I'm building right here. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. And I was thinking about that. Oh, I almost slipped up. We got to do 2 of those. See? See there? I got to do 2 of those. My goodness, almost messed up. Okay, and I got to do that again now. I wasn't paying attention. I was talking about that place, but at least I still got it fresh in my mind. But it was, I'm just trying to rack my brain though, where it was at, you know, and see if I can find it on Google Maps or something. And of course, if you don't know the name of it, or at least what highway it's on, it's almost impossible to find. But I was thinking about that, I thought I could rebuild that. I know it was, the other side was kind of like a steep embankment, so you couldn't just walk up or whatever. It was pretty steep. And I'm trying to find it. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know why I did that one there, but that's fine. Put that on there now. But it's just those family vacations are always fun to think about. So I'm trying to think, though, you know, what it was called. And yeah, Father's Day's coming up, and it's going to be hot at the cemetery, and we all kind of said, well, we're going to have to postpone it. My mom's like, you know, it's up to you. And I said, I just don't like going to cemeteries. I just never really liked them. So, unless we get up there at 5 in the morning, but this place is well fenced off, so you can't just go when you want to. You have to go when they open up, which is like at 8 or something in the morning. And yeah. So we're trying to think what we want to do for Father's Day, too. So happy early Father's Day to anybody out there who's watching these, if you've got kids. Alright. Now we stick these on here. Hey, at least I caught myself. I would have stuck that stem on last. Just what I'm doing here is I'm slipping it on there very loose like this. Did I mess up here? No, I didn't. Just... I'm grabbing it right here. See where my hands are at. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on, just wiggling it in. Just wiggle. Like that. Wiggle it in. I know some people ask me, how do I do it? You wiggle. Wiggle it in. Wiggle. That's all you got to do. And now we got to put this one on a big stick. Our magic wand. Now, mind you, we're still on bag 1, so I may have to split this up into 2 build installments. And I'll put that right in there. Huh? Well, what am I missing here? Did I skip something? Oh, indeed I did. You know what I forgot to do, folks? I skipped step 15. My bad. See, I'm not paying attention. My mind is in vacation mode right now. It should be in Lego mode. But, well, who wants to do Lego? You can go on. You can do this anytime you want. But, yeah, still got to find that place. So this goes here. Like that. Then this goes here, and yes, I hear my stomach growling. That means I need to have something other than breakfast. And then now this plugs right on there. Now, if you notice I make mistakes in these, I'm not going to filter those. And that's our second cornflower, and that's kind of cool. And then, of course, you stick it on the stem, and then you're done. Now we're going to be moving on to the eucalyptus thing. I think that's what it is. Let's refer to it in the back of the book again. Yeah, it's eucalyptus baby blue. Okay. Now we haven't got to any of the pink stuff yet. We've been doing this, so we haven't seen anything other than this stuff yet. So right now, 2 people can build this right now. This is probably a third. Start with that. Now we got to build 2 of these. I'm making sure I know that because I don't want to have to do that twice. You know, nobody wants to do it a million times. I mean, I don't. And you know what? These make great little street light pieces here because they do fit inside of a cross axle. So just imagine if you were to make a shaft. Nice street light. So let's do it like that because I need to match the book here. Yeah, but it's been in the hundreds. It's been hot here. It's been miserable. And just trying to stay away from drama right now. So we need to build 5 of these. I need to make 10. So let's just do that. So there's 1. So this now is going to get a little repetitive now. And yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do here, isn't it? Hey, at least I'm doing something other than causing mischief. I'm building this stuff here. You could do it like that too if you wanted. You can build it any way you want. If you got the copy of the set, you can do it any way you choose. Hollow studs are good, especially green, because those are nice plant pieces, believe it or not. So I'll hang on to those. And yeah, I've been trying to look for other places to go camping this summer, but I'm kind of out of luck there. Like telling my girlfriend, it's like, just fill it in, fill me in here. Tell me if there's any place you want to go visit. And I said, that's a big help, because I can't think of it all on my own. And yeah. Alright, we are getting close here. So after this one, I'd say 3 people can build this. So you can imagine having a family. The Brady Bunch could put all this together. We don't know yet, but we know at least after this one to be 3 people. That might be the maximum. We don't know. Okay, and then now we got to assemble the shaft. We'll need that. And it's broken down to where you can take little breaks in between the build. And I skipped a step again. My bad, but that's okay. We could build it all in sections right now here first. Put that in there. We don't need this right now. We need to put this thing together. Okay, so I skipped that. That's fine. I mean, that's how we roll here. I got to make it hard for you, huh? Take it and make it harder for you. So I'm just trying to copy the book here as close as I can. So you're going to have to wiggle some of these in here a little bit, because they're not going to stay in unless you do like that. And then we got to do that another time. So there's our eucalyptus thing, and then we got to do it again here. Now, you can leave this rough. You could do it any way you want here. Like I said, it's your set. It's totally your call. That's the beauty about Lego. We could all build the same thing differently and still come up with the same result. And then it goes on this little fork thing. Okay. And the other one kind of goes down, or it goes like that. So it's like that right there. And then that big thing there goes on this stem that we just assembled. All right, so we plug that right in there, and now that's what it looks like there. And so far it's not too bad. Looks like up to 3 people can build this. And that's what we have remaining for bag 1. Alright, now we're going to move on to bag 2. And I think I've already spent like 20-25 minutes on this. I'm thinking of just splitting this down, and we're just going to do bags 1, 2, and 3 in this installment, and then 4, 5, and 6 in the review and the latter installment. So I'm probably going to do it in the same day. I'm just not going to do it all in one sitting. Got a bag of smaller stuff. And pour those out there. I don't know why I pour them all in one big pile. Most people do. And we've seen this before, called the Elder. And yeah, we're going to have to build 2 of those little boogers. So let's get going here. And obviously we're going to need some, I thought we need to make some shafts, but it looks like half the bag is just that. So what I'm going to do, and I don't have a whole lot of those, they'd be good for spruce trees. I'm going to start sorting out things by color, as I need a bunch of those shaft things. And let's start getting out all the common stuff first, and because I need to get to those there. So now we're going to have to build it. We need to stack 11 of these. So you got to make 11 of these, right? Times 2, that's 22. I know somebody who just hates math, right? Just hates it with a passion. And even in something as simple as this, you're going to need to use your math. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, let's go ahead. We're going to manufacture all these right now. And the reason being is it's easier to count instead of stacking them and trying to... Okay, I thought I had that on mute. Now I do. I turned off the internet. So the best thing is just to start gridding these up. Like, okay, let's start putting them in a row here and see what they are. And that's how you do it. And then you notice now I'm starting to sort. You can sort as you build. You can sort before. There's always that question, where do you start sorting, before or after? It's your call. You can do it any way you want. It's your call. For me, and I always try to sneak in different ways of doing it. See, we've already made 8. Now, I can build it or just build them all at once. And for me personally, I'm going to build them all at once right now. And then we'll just come in and we'll put both columns together. Now, this obviously is not really an exciting color for this. So it's, you know, see, right now I already have 11 here. You know. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this one together. And the reason being is so I can use that space. Okay. And let's see here. You just stack these all on top of one another. And I'm going to have to dig up a vase for these. And this, like I said, this when I heard I was getting to get a gift, I was hoping it'd be some kind of an exclusive thing, but these are just as good. You know, I'm always happy to get a Lego set, regardless of what it is, except if it's one of those bland color. At least this one's got color to it. It's more on the natural earth tone stuff, but it's not too terribly bad. And as you can see, I'm still sorting here. You know, that's one way of doing it. So, how's everybody's summer going so far? Springtime. I think summer doesn't start until the end of June, but yeah, mine's been kind of meh. Doing a lot of chores around the house, and then dealing with problematic teens is another issue. But that's part of life, so I just kind of, you know. And I don't know what it is with teenagers. I think we've all did it. Where we just don't talk to anybody. We're quiet. We only hang out with our friends or so. And that's how it is. But I get little to no feedback. And it's just kind of, you know. Of course, I get the whole "you're not my dad" thing again. And, you know, but I found out, though, cutting off the internet does help. Because it's boring here. When I turn it off, welcome to the 20th century. Time for bed. Okay, now we got to put together the other little long shaft thing. Starting now. So one of these sides is round, the other one's kind of squared, so I kind of line them up just to make them look better. It's up to you, but I'll go OCD here. And oh yeah, I didn't go off in here because I put the internet on mute now. What a pity. No more ringy of the ring thing. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm just going to break this one down in here, because there's no way I'm going to sit here and edit a 2.5 hour build installment. Okay. Okay, we got those done. So step 1 is done for the elder, and then now we got to do, now remember, we're still building 2, so whatever we're doing here, we're going to have to do 2 of them. Okay, just remember, it's double. Whatever it is, it's going to be doubled. So at least I'm glad I can help you guys and gals build these sets. And I've been getting requests for some of the other ones, like the Simpsons. What was it? The Krusty Burger. Thinking about it. And we're just sit back and we'll do a whole build and an analysis on it. I don't know yet if I'll do that one or not, but I got until the end of the month to make up my mind. If not, I lose a round. But you know, I got other things I got to get going right now, and then we got to do 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, well, we'll set that off to the side here, and yeah, you're going to actually have to do a bunch of stuff here. Okay, you got to make 6 of these, and you got to put them in that. 3 in each limb. Alright, so we're going to start with making these first, and I never figured in a million years that these fit onto that. I learned something new. Now, it looks like they have the berries facing inwards. I think that's what we're going to do here. Now, just be very careful with these. These can get pretty fragile, so I'm doing it very slow. Not going to race through this. Of course, I'm going to put it outwards and swing it in. I think that's how they're supposed to be, and it looks like kind of how it is. So I think that's what we're supposed to be doing there, and just kind of rotate things to make it fit. That's what I'm gathering. So, and we just got one of those done, right? Well, we got a long ways to go. And I don't have any of these stems and sand greens. This would be a good little piece for a forest, especially if you want to do more of a cold taiga or something like that. Maybe an older spruce forest. There we go. We got 2 done. Jay, it's going to take you forever to do these. Yep, that's exactly what it is here. But I'm going to try to index these videos so you can, if you get stuck on something, you should be able to find it real quick here. I'm just trying to get through all my leftover sets that I've had, that I've obtained, that I haven't built yet, so we can work through them together. Okay, and now I'm halfway done with that guy, and I'm gonna, okay, stop rolling around, okay? You know, that's getting kind of old. Put these up here. Obviously need 3 of these, but now we haven't put them on there yet. But like I said, though, hold on, is there another one of these? Do I have to make more? Okay, it's a different different type of plant. I was like, okay, I'm starting to run out of cherry things here. If you're making cherry blossoms, there you go, or a cherry tree. I never figured in a billion years that those would fit in there, but they do. I learned something new. See, it's okay to learn new things, right? Okay. Got 4 done. That's good. Now we got a couple more here. Got 2 more to be exact. Now this is supposed to be the pink flowers. I can't remember the name already. I've already lost track of what it's called. The Pretty Pink Flower Bouquet, and we have not even, the closest we've seen is red, and it was those shafts that were buried in there. So what does that tell you? Maybe there was a hint of pink in the cornflowers, but not here. Now, I could just fast forward through this and be done with it, but you know what? That's the point about raw videos. I've had some that says, why don't you just speed through this? You know, that's why they're indexed, so you can fast forward on your own leisure. Oh yeah, with the speed builds, I finally got the sound effects to work on Instagram, which is cool. I had to use a different editor to re-render the video, unfortunately, so Instagram is the only turd that has that issue. I may try TikTok and see how it works on there, since a lot of people prefer speed builds, but I won't offer any assistance for those. because there are full video tutorials on those tutorials that I do. Here I'm not doing any speed builds. This is just it. Okay, and then now we got to put them on this limb piece here. Now it doesn't really show where they go. I don't know. Okay, but that's where we got to put them on there. I see this one back here. This one here, maybe? I think the last one goes here. I'm just going to assume that. It goes there. And then these go in here. Now, you notice how I'm just wiggling them. Just wiggle them in. That's all you got to do. I'm just setting them in there like that, and I'm just going to rotate them like this. And it gets them right in there. Okay, I got that one done. I got to do this one here now. Oh, I didn't... This one fell off. Sometimes they'll just come off on you, huh? Okay. But that's why I like doing these, because then I can show you and I can tell you stories. You know, except for the two people who complained about the storytelling, I've never had any issues after that. Because like I said, I want to be a real person on here, not just, you know. And then now we stick these onto this. And okay, so you don't put anything in that last one because that's what these go for. Okay, and we'll do this next one here. Okay, like that. Had to take that off screen, but that's where it goes there on those little shafts. Okay, and then now we're moving on to the little light, the blue flowers. So we haven't done anything yet. It's the same, except now instead of using the cherries, because we don't have any more of those green things left, we got to do these now, using the 1x1 flowers. And then just wiggle those on there. These are a little easier to put on. These I've done billions of times. I could do these in my sleep. So we got to do 6 of these. Now, LEGO sometimes will give you an extra stem, so if you have extra pieces, usually that's normal. Well, we got 2 of them done. See, I mean, we're cruising along here. Yeah, but botanical sets, you really can't go wrong with them. It's not only a it's not a play piece. This is not meant to be played with. It's a decoration. So far, the build is keeping my interest, so that's good news. It's not boring me. It's not like I'm just... It can get repetitive. So that's probably the only strike on this set so far is repetitiveness. But you know, but you are learning some new building techniques, just like the cherry things. I didn't know those go on there. And now we know. Okay, we got to make 6 of these now. Yeah, I think what we're going to do here, we're going to break this set down into 2 build installments. So this one will be on 2 different days. Somebody asked me, well, why do you post videos on different days? Why don't you just release all the build installments? Just for content. I don't want to put I don't want to just put everything out. And that's it. There's nothing else for the week. And ooh, be very careful. This one almost just bent. So be very careful with these. That's why they give you an extra one of these. And yes, I've broken these a few times. I hate dealing with them. Alright, and then now we got to put them on 2 of these. So if you run out of these, that's it. But usually I get an extra one of these. I'm going to put all these because those are extras there. And it looks like they're in the same place as the last one. Just don't put them in that hole there. And we should be good. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking now, since I got work done early and stuff, I'm debating if I should go out and get a burger. or make one here at the house. Sometimes I prefer making my own because I get to put as much stuff or as little of stuff on it as I want. And two, do I really want to get back in the car? I'll get in the car and go get it. Okay, and then now it goes on to here, like that. You know what? If you were doing some tree building, it's not a bad idea for trees. Just fill in the top a bit more here. And then now we stick the bent thing here and these. So you got to put two of these together here. Okay, like that. Let's set that off to the side here. Okay. And then now after that, we'll see what we have here now. Remember, we still got to build two, so instead of doing one of these, I got to do two of them now. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, which is the leaves. So let's get going on this here. Like that. So we got that out of the way. Yeah, but like I said, though, I'm always glad I can share my ideas. That's the beauty of YouTube. You know, you can find somebody who likes the same hobby as you. And then you can say, oh, okay, I'm not the only one alone doing these type of things. And I can, you know, share them here. Are we going to use those, or are they just going to be sitting there to kind of taunt us? And then after that, we stick the yellow ones in here. We're going to run out of parts eventually, so just hold your horses. We're going to get rid of all those real soon here. And another one of these. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm never going to get the set built, but you know, you don't want to rush through these. And some people do. They'll rush through a build. I've been, you know, kind of criticized as I build pretty slow. There's no need to rush through this. You know, there's no need to do that. And after that, we have to stick all these leaves on here, on the top part of this. So it looks like we shove these down here first, in the last hole, like this. Now I'm going to do both of these right now. Okay, and then you come in here and do this. Imagine if you had to make a whole life-size tree doing this. You'd have some very sore fingers when you are done. So that is why I don't build full-size life-size trees here. And that's it. So we got to do that over here again. Yeah, but I'm getting more people commenting on here. You helped me out. Thank you. I mean, you're welcome. I'm glad I get to help you out. It's like I said. And my intent was never to make this a full-pledged building channel. You know, this was just... It used to be called Archives of J, because this was just basically where I was going to park old review videos and stuff until I got more requests for building stuff. And now we attach this to the stem here on that yellow shaft. So we just have to be very careful and stick that in there so we survive that. One more. Yeah, things are getting kind of scary here, huh? And now we're going to do more. Now we're going to be doing more leaf pieces. Pretty much the same song and dance, but these are a little smaller. Yeah, it's been getting kind of hot here, where it's been to the point of ready to go swimming in the pool. The pool's like 87 degrees, the water. So it's getting there. It's getting there. I gotta fix the pool float that fills up the pool. I'm gonna fire that up. It has a leak. And unfortunately, the leak is under the pool deck, the concrete. And that requires to find it exactly where it's at. Then I have to go in there with the saw, cut the concrete, jackhammer that section out, get in there and repair it. It's probably maybe a 20-minute repair, but I got to spend half a day to get to it. And that is not something fun. And I think these are meant to go like this, because it shows the hole on the top here. So, like that. And that's not something I want to tackle. And I'm not good with concrete work. And since my dad passed away, we got rid of all his concrete stuff because none of us know how to use it. And it was in bad shape. It even shows you how it wants it here too. So we kind of gave all that away. He had a bunch of tiling stuff. My dad was a do-it-yourselfer like I am. So do-it-yourselfers are a dying breed. There's not a lot of us out there anymore who are willing to tackle home improvement jobs on our own. I want to get my hands dirty. Get my hands really dirty and do that. Well, I get my hands dirty all the time too. Just have to deal with it. Alright, and then it goes right on the side right here. Right there. At least it's where we can readjust it there. So you're going to have to move some things around, but there you go, like that. We'll do the other one in case I didn't show it to you all the way. Stick it right there and just kind of wiggle it in. If you have to, just turn it like that and then swing it into place. Okay. And that takes care of those, and so far we can go up to 5 people building this, and that's what we have remaining for bag 2. Alright, finally we are going to be moving on to bag 3 here. And while I'm unbagging this, thank you everyone for taking the time to be a contributor to my main channel. Helps me do videos like this on this channel. Thank you to my supporters on Patreon, in addition to customers who purchased my building guides. You took the plunge and actually want to have a copy of what Jay has been preserving. And in addition to all that, thank you to my subscribers, and if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And of course, if this is not your style of video, I'll understand. You know, that kind of thing. So I really appreciate it. And now, for this installment part here, we're going to be doing the rose and the blue daisy. So we got something to look forward to now. And it looks like we're building 2 of these. So at least they're telling us here we're building 2 flowers and we got to build 2 of these. So I'm assuming that that's what this is now. So this is going to be our sub-step. I got a bunch of these in different colors. I don't really use those for anything. I think there's like shoulder pads for Bionicle. And fender wells or mud guards. I could use those for making vehicles, especially pink ones. And I never knew what these things were for, but I'm classifying them as flowers. So I've been kind of setting those off to the side there. That'll make a nice little flower pot for a flower arrangement, huh? Since we're building flowers. Okay, let's get this out of the way here. I'm still trying to get to the parts here right now. We've got to sort everything. Because we need 2 of these. we got to build 2 of the roses right now. Now I have 32 minutes left, so I got to get through this quick because I'll be running out of memory. Even though I've already got the other video up on YouTube, I haven't proofed it yet. Okay, so we don't know. So we should be able to get through this, not too bad. And then that'll give me some time to rustle up a vase for this. So I gotta go find one here. That just sits in there, so it's gonna fit very loose. Now, I was watching some old movies last night. I was watching the original Night of the Living Dead. And yeah, compared to what we have today, it's kind of cheesy, but still, you never know, it could happen. You know, because Hollywood's been right most of the time. But one of the things I've noticed that somebody actually did on YouTube, they actually colorized it. And I thought, well, there's got to be some other stuff. And I looked around and I thought, My dad used to watch The Rifleman. It's like some old black and white western. I thought, I wonder if somebody colorized that, and sure enough, somebody did season 1, episode 1 in color. And I thought, oh, this is not too bad. I always would go in there and see my dad watch that, and it was like, dude, the color's broken on the TV, you know. But I saw that, and I thought, well, let's see how good this is. And the color was okay on that one. I think it was professionally done. And just those old black and whites being converted to color. I mean, if I'm watching them on a black and white telly, it wouldn't be a big deal, but yeah. Alrighty, so I'm going to stick this in here. Now we're getting to the pink stuff, huh? And LEGO minifigures like flowers too. Yeah, so do we. We like those flowers. Okay. And I've been eyeballing a lot of these type of flowers here. So I've been I've been kind of pricing them around. I'd like to get some green ones too, because they look like cabbage pieces, and you got to put that all the way in there so it fits like that. Okay, these are kind of cool. You gotta see if you can get one that's in yellow, or at least brick yellow, or even sand yellow, make a good little bird's nest piece too. Now, if you stick that in there, how would you get these out? You would just stick a shaft in there, just pop them out. Let's say I messed up, I don't want this in here now. You would just stick a shaft and then it would just get caught onto that, and you could pop these loose. So don't be like, oh, I need that part, what do I do? That's what you do. And now we got to make 8 of these petal things with these. So let's get started onto that. Okay. And then it's going to go like this. Yeah, these botanicals, and at least I'm not lying to you. They do get repetitive, redundant after a while. Especially when you got to do 8 of the same step. And sometimes you're messing with parts that you're putting in backwards, and you got to take it apart. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I had to grade this set right now, it'd probably be about a 6 or a 7. Because we are missing a brick separator with the build, especially with something like this. This would have came in handy for this, and I think it's LEGO just doing budget cuts or something, they're budgeting some of these sets out. I don't know, I can't answer for them, but it just kind of feels like they are. I mean, if it's a big giant set with Duplo pieces, I'll understand, though. Because I don't think there's a Duplo-sized brick separator. That would be kind of brutal, huh? Yeah, so if you're looking for something that you can spend time with the family, here you go. We've already got 5 small builds here. And this one's like it's going to be 6. And what happens if I run out of memory on this? Then I'll have to transfer that over real quick. Yeah, but at least now I have everything. I'm not done with that yet, huh? I'm not. At least now I have a bunch of extra memory cards. So let's say I were to get my sets, then I already have the memory cards to fulfill it. I need to, and I was estimating, well, how many cards do I really need to do all these? If I had probably about 50 memory cards, and I'm not going to be blowing all the fan funding on that. That's just silly, So I just got to think of better ways to do things, like get onto it when I'm done with it, not sit on it. And now, which one of these go on? It looks like it goes on the ones between the studs right here. So it's in between these studs, so just set them in there like that. And it looks like we fold them up when we're done. Okay. Now, what I like to do is just kind of start setting these in loose. See how I'm doing it like that? And then I just slowly swing them in like that. Okay, that's how you do it. So I'm just doing exactly what the instruction says. Now, you don't have to. You can build anything you want. But see, it wouldn't fit there. So I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to just show you here. I'm going to kind of loosen it up. See how I kind of have everything lined up here? And I want to try to tuck everything in there and then slowly close it up like that. Okay. We're getting there. It looks like something, doesn't it? We survived that. And then now we have to put the big things at the bottom. These things. Okay, they go in these holders down here. And let's see, it looks like they go right in the middle. But that doesn't fit in there. So let me see again here. I think it may go on this nub right here. But of course we can rotate it if we need to. This thing is going to spin, so it's not yours, is not broken. Mine's doing that too. So I'm just going to hold on to that as best I can, and put it on the right hand one there, not the left, the right. So I maybe said the left, but put it on the right hand one. And the last one is probably going to be your toughest one there. See, I'm having a hard time. Okay. And now it wants us to close these up. So it's the same thing. You can almost see here. Now I'm going to tuck these in here like that. And then I'm going to slowly close it up and just wiggle it together. Okay. Kind of fluff that up. Looks like a rose, and it looks pretty close to what the book has there. So there you go. You can smell that. Let's see here. Can you smell it? Smells pretty good. We got to do that again now. Yeah, it's like I said, it's all repetitive. And then I'm going to edit. I haven't finished editing the other one that we did, the other botanical that I just did. So I'm going to do that one. And then I'm going to get this one here prepared for editing and process. And the other one's up on YouTube. I just got to finish indexing the video, making sure it's my snuff, if the quality's good. And then that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here we go again. Now, this thing wants to spin, but you can see I'm doing a little bit of everything right now. I'm doing them all at once here, and then we just close it up. Okay. And that takes care of the little rose things. And let's see here. And we're just gonna let me finish this right now. This section. I don't want to stop right now. Okay, flip that upside down and shove it in there like that. Got to make a... Okay, make sure I'm doing this right here. Okay, you're working on both of these at the same time. Alright, so that's what it is. I was like, what? No, you got to do both of them. So this one here, what I'm gathering sits in here, but like this. Okay. And this one here just gets some nasty thorn. Who wants to have that in their rose? But we've all had our hands poked by those several times. I know I have. You want to deter people from breaking in your house? Put those thorny rose bushes in front of your windows. And then we're going to be working on this one here with thorns. You're going to do another thorn thing on here because you want to make it as unpleasant as possible. So you give your friend the thorny one and you get to keep the good ones. Okay. Like that. And yeah, there'll be separate review videos on the... you know, I put that in the wrong one here. It's supposed to be the other way around. And how do you get that out without a brick separator? I'm just going to use that as my brick separator. Shove that in there and pop it out like that. Wasn't paying attention, but that's fine. So we're allowed to make boo-boos in these. We're not perfect. And this one goes like that. Some nasty thorny thing. And after that, we take two more of our little shafts. I think I'm just going to film just this section for the day, and I'll come back on the next day and do the next one. So these go here like that. So then now we got these done here. And that takes care of the roses. Oh, we're not done yet. Hold on, I'm not done yet. I saw that and I thought, oh, I'm already done here. No, I'm not done yet. Because I got to make one of these longer than the other. I flipped the page and I saw that and I thought, oh, it creeped up on me. Okay, so we take the one without thorns, you make it longer. This is the one you give to your girlfriend, this is the one you give to your enemy because it's got the thorns. Now we can stop. Okay, and in the final one, I got to look at the back of the book again. Because the last one here is the blue daisy. Who doesn't love daisies, you know? Let's get in there. So we got to do those. And it's almost the same thing as the thing. And so far we can build up to 7 people. That's not bad at all. We can do that. Okay. Yuck. Okay. Let's get going on the parts. We got to do 2 of these. We don't have a lot of parts left. It doesn't really show a whole lot. I got some of these barbells. Okay. And yeah, these little lightsaber swords or light swords, these will always come in handy for plants, especially the green ones. Okay. And we got to take a couple of these. These are like flower stems on steroids. They're that big. We'll take those, but you see like in the kitty sets. But hey, any kind of plant parts are good. And we got to make 4 daisies, means you got to make 8 of these. That's not bad. I mean, it's 8. I'll make 1 here, and I'm just going to put these together as we go. I want to put the stick in like that. Okay, I got to do more of these now. Isn't that cool? Any more vacation adventures? Nothing. Except I am due for a surfing trip. A surfing expedition. A place to go surfing. In cold water. Except some of the beaches that I went to now, they're getting this fungus or something. And you know, it's like, why are we polluting the beaches for? That's like a recreational thing, and you're keeping me at home longer, and I have to use the boring swimming pool. But you can't do any of that too, because the water just, you can't ride the water. It's not fun. Yeah, I'll be surfing until I'm 100. I'll be surfing when I turn 50. I mean, why not? Do that, have some fun. That's not Lego. Yeah, see, just these alone, these would look good in your little Lego flower gardens too. I mean, they use these for the sunflowers too. And they're a nice little piece to have. It's like, you know, I know some people don't like the newer parts LEGO produces. That's fine. I always get excited when there's some new piece, especially an old part in a new color. It's like, oh, now I can build my dreams again, because that's a piece that I needed. There we go. And that's it. And now we got to populate all these here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside ones. Put these on here first. I mean, they're on there pretty good, so it's not like they're going to fly off at you. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my other sets to come in. There's I could talk about them now. Since they are basically released. There's a group of friend sets and there's some city sets that I want to get a hold of. That's kind of pretty, isn't it? Except I want to rotate it like that. How do you rotate it? There we go. Trying to get it right there. There we go. And I had a bunch of commentary that I can't do. I mean, there's no minifigures in here, nothing with names anyways, so I can't do that. And there was some city sets I was getting, and one of them particularly I wanted, which is a train. I don't know how I was going to do the train review. I've never really have done a full-blown train set review before. I did the Christmas train years ago, but I did that in my shop. I may have to do it in there again. I don't know. These are kind of got some weight to them. And then now, once you get those put on there, we have to make the stems now. So we got that part out of the way. And yeah, you're going to have to do all that there. Isn't that fun? We're going to have to do that. We're going to need to make 9 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and just make these now. Okay. So let's start producing. I'm just going to make them now. Or we could just do... Let's do 5 of them first, but let's just go ahead and kind of just get them out of the way here. You got a bunch of sticks here, huh? Heck, just these alone, you could actually make a nice little fence out of those. There you got 7. Okay, that's 8. 9. I think the rest of the pieces are leftovers. And we will do these in the next installment, which we're not doing today. And then now we're going to stack 5 on one of these and 4 on the other. So I'm just going to do it right now. Now these are not really that sturdy. I don't know. Okay, well we got 4 here. Okay. Yeah, so if you're looking for something to do with the family, here you go. Just in the first 3 bags, I'll have to bring this over and show you when I'm done. We have a bunch. And then that's it for those, and this is what we have remaining for bag 3. Summation of thoughts while I set up here. And so far the set is keeping my interest. Okay. And let's get this up here a little higher. At least with autofocus I don't have to focus on it too much. I notice the autofocus on this has been pretty good. And I'm going to say that out of my favorite are the roses and the blue daisies. I'm just counting everything up on the workbench here, and like these are heavy, things are hanging on. Just be careful. Where am I going to do with these? I don't know. I got to find a place to put them because I got to use this table for something else. So we have 9 builds out of 3 bags. So 9 people can build this so far. You know, it's not bad. It's keeping my interest, and this is a nice group build. It is repetitive if you're building it by yourself. So I'm not going to go too crazy in on the repetitive stuff, but no brick separator, which makes this kind of undesirable if anybody's stuck on something. I'm trying to see my time, and I'm already knocking my noggin here. Let's see, I can't even see the time on this thing here. I got, what is that, 11 minutes? But yeah, so for me personally, it's not a bad build if you're interested in botanicals. So now my next objective is to rustle up a vase so we can continue with the next section of this. And in the next installment, we're going to be putting together a Canterbury Bells, and then we have the Persian Buttercup. We've seen those, but those are kind of cool. That doesn't even look like Lego. And let's see what bag 5 has to offer. Well, I don't know, I skipped it, but we'll get to that. And I think, honestly, let me find something to put as a bookmark. Well, I've been doing some renovations. I got this plate for a Cat 6 connector. I'll put that in there for a bookmark. But yeah, tell me what you think so far. It's keeping my interest.